And Germany has qualified for the knockout stage of the Euro 2024 tournament. Uh, they they won yesterday to secure their place in the qualifying rounds. Now we are going to be looking at all that happened in that game and all the matches that happened yesterday and the features for today in Euro 2024. And here with the guys in studio to analyze all the things that happened in that game. Nonso, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It was fantastic yesterday seeing the likes of the German team qualify for the round of 16 and the Scottish side putting up a fight.
And Albania actually fought for their life yesterday.
Yes, you don't take that away from them.
John, how are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, guys.
So let's talk about the first game, Croatia versus Albania. They ended with a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
The Albania equalized almost for the last kick of the game. They scored that final goal. Everybody was rejoicing as if they won the World Cup. So how do you see this game? Croatia not getting 3 points. I was disappointed.
I said this the other day. I said no matter how it is, Croatia should not play without Brozovic, but take off Kovacic. And you saw what happened when they took out Brozovic in that game. I was telling you now, when they took out Brozovic in that game, the game all changed. Everybody started asking yourself, who is the defensive midfielder? Kovacic can do the job. Now, Brozovic was the key figure in that game, but it was like Kovacic and Modric were just a foot apart. They were just so, I don't know, the communication between that midfield was just poor. They didn't attempt more creativity. And I'm talking about Kovacic now. I think taking him off that game would have been fantastic all the game, but
I was thinking that taking out Modric should have actually done
where would the creativity come from?
But we are also talking about who should start and who shouldn't start. Let's not forget that in the first match, the key performer for them in that midfield was Luka Modric and Kovacic. Brozovic was just basically sitting back in the defense. He wasn't contributing anything. Now he was taken out of the equation and a certain Pasalic was brought in to provide that mobility in the midfield. Howbeit, it didn't yield much this time around. But I feel like benching Brozovic for Kovacic and Pasalic was a better decision rather than having him on and then having more of the same players in the mix. Yeah.
Tactically, when you are winning a game, for me, it's almost maybe 2 minutes to the end of the game. You don't actually need Modric in your team again. He should have be brought off and probably put a younger or a defender, probably to defend the lead and get the 3 points. But he left him. And they considered that goal. I don't think it's necessary for all of them to be on the field at that time. Probably they are thinking it's Albania or...
See, the mistake started when you start these 3 players.
I don't think it's a problem.
It's a problem when you start these 3 players and one person, he's old, is creating all the chances. When the young lad of 28 years old is dumb upstairs. Sorry to say this about Man City fans, but he doesn't create any chance. He's just a run-around type of midfielder. We don't have a run-around kind of midfielder anymore these days. You have to be creative. You have to be creative from your own half. The likes of Odegaard could see a pass. The likes of Kelvin could see a pass.
How many teams in the Euros have these players in their side? How many teams in Euros have these guys in their side? And how many of them win without these guys? So you can't tell me that the lack of a creative midfielder in that midfield is why they lost that match. You can't say that.
We don't want to talk about the Hungarian match. You saw what Dominic did in that game. He was running around, yet he was creating chances. This was the level of intelligence the Croatian side needed.
It don't like Kovacic.
No. It
doesn't like Kovacic.
It's not personal.
Basically, it's clear for everyone to see.
It's not personal. You see, when he played for Chelsea, you saw how it was. It just see people rate him as a world class. People like John rate him as a world class.
Manchester City,
but he's in the level of Conor Gallagher. In that level of Scott McTominay, I'll put him in that level because
that's not coming from you, man. Because you can't. How can you? Who is Conor Gallagher? When did Conor Gallagher
Hustle and no intelligence? Hustle and no
That's
intelligence. That's just
this is a player that's played at Real Madrid, that's played at Chelsea, and is playing straight now at Manchester City.
Just say Castilla. Don't say Real Madrid. Say Castilla.
He is a key part of that midfield.
Castilla. He plays for Castilla, not Real Madrid. Odegaard plays for Real Madrid as well.
Let's give Albania their flowers first. We are talking about Croatia, but let's talk about Albania. Getting a point is a huge thing for them. Do you understand? So, what did they get it right? Is it that because they fought? And I said it yesterday on this show. I said, it's better for you to come out and fight. Sitting back and expecting a miracle to happen doesn't happen. For me, it doesn't make sense. Come out and fight. If you lose 5-0, lose 5-0. Just that they came out and they fought and they got a point. That's what. So I bet Albania team, They fought well and they got a point.
You know,
They deserve it.
we've always underrated the country because they're a small
It is-
small
that's-
footballing
it's small-
nation.
it's small
But you
nation.
forget that their right back plays for Lazio.
Just one person.
Just
Calm
one
down now.
player.
Ajeti plays in the Premier League. For
That's
Fulham as well. Now
see,
I could
see,
listen.
see.
These are players
exposure playing in the Premier League does not translate in the national side.
Come
It
again, you
does
say what?
not- It does not translate
Come again, you
in
say
the
what?
national
Come again, you
side.
say
Yes,
what?
it does not translate. Forget about who plays where, because we are seeing a team with players who nobody even has even heard of. Who's heard of this? Their man up front there, talking about Manage, talking about the other guy down the left. What's his name now? Nadim Bajrami. These are basically unknown players, but where you give them their flowers is the ability to play as a team, the ability to come out together and attack, the ability to come back and defend. And then you look at the way they've gotten their goals. Look at the first goal now. Look at the way they got their goal in that match. It shows you that they have the ability to put teams under pressure when they are breaking on the attack, and that's what they did. Rather than sit back and hope for a point, even though they finally ended up with a point, being able to rescue something out of the match. But I feel that this is a tournament that Albania just needs to build confidence, and hopefully they'll have a better showing in the next Euros, basically, because as it stands now, they are dead bottom in the group.
They are not.
No,
They are
they're
not.
not.
They are
Croatia
not.
is actually.
Croatia is dead bottom in the group.
Croatia is
They-
actually dead bottom.
Come on, Croatia considered 3 goals in the first game. Why they considered just 2?
Basically,
They considered
just
one.
basically
Just plus one goal.
off goal difference, not so.
Okay, let's
They-
talk
they
about.
won
Basically,
point,
just
yes.
off goal
Okay.
difference.
Okay, the
See,
next game. Let's take
the
okay.
thing is, there was a player celebrating yesterday, and it could have been a very good celebration for him. Kramaric. He celebrated his birthday yesterday. He scored the goal for Croatia and didn't get the
It
win.
was cancelled, you know.
No, he scored the 74th minute goal.
I mean that the goal was cancelled
Okay.
out because they conceded and then
It was-
City
Okay,
it
drew.
was heartbreaking.
It was
It was
heartbreaking for
heartbreaking,
them. Okay, Germany has qualified for the next round of this
Straight
game.
up 2
Straight up,
wins.
so 2-0. So, Musiala, that young boy is that I love. But they ran away with 2-0 yesterday. Musiala scored the first goal and Gundogan scored the second goal. So this German team, what do you think they need to improve, or do they need to improve more, or do they need to continue what they are doing and probably win this tournament?
For me, when you talk about the German side, everything is trying to do one better, trying to meet the standard set by Joachim Löw, who won the World Cup and a couple of other competitions for them. And Julian Nagelsmann is trying to toe that path. Now, they have what they need now in terms of qualifying from the group stages.
They have
But
qualified
they've
already.
qualified already. But it's about playing a perfect competition, winning all the games possible. And that's the mentality. You saw the celebration in his second goal. You saw the way he's reacting, his conversations with the player, the communication, and the work ethic is demanding of these guys. Let's not forget that even though they are out of the group, don't expect them to go back and go and lie down.
You've seen Tony and Andrich play in a couple of games now. You say the midfield is settled defensively and creatively. The midfield is settled with Gundogan as well. Those 3 people in the midfield, those 3
Sure.
players in the midfield is settled. But where I have a problem, because I'm always having a problem with something in a team. Where I have a problem is the likes of Rudiger at some point switching off. Yes,
Okay.
you agree with me. At some point, he switches off. He likes to maybe do something to cheer the crowd, and in that state, he
That's-
makes a
that's-
mistake.
that's
And
the
that's what he
thing-
did
that's the
yesterday
thing
in the first minute
that
of the
happened,
game.
yeah.
You know,
That's
so
another
if-
conversation that
if
needs to happen.
Look at it now. Let's do a track record for them against Japan in the World Cup, the last World Cup, when he did really high heel run.
Yeah.
What happened?
And
Japan they ended up drawing the game because Japan came from behind to play a draw against them or perhaps win them.
Let's
Now,
not
he
forget.
does this
Let's
to-
not forget. This is another thing that happened too. We saw in the Premier League, Arsenal leading Liverpool at their stadium, and then somebody goes on to incite the fan, and before you know what happens, they lose.
I don't think that you
So-
can't compare
so-
that.
It's the same
It's the
thing.
same
It's the same
thing.
thing.
It's the
So
same
the guy is this kind of player.
The
What if
player
it-
should
what-
be focused on playing. Forget about moving
Now
the crowd
he
or
plays
whatever.
against a Portuguese side that has Rafael Leao on pace and perhaps a Ronaldo on pace, and he's doing that and to cheer the fans or perhaps discuss the
Let's
fans.
not forget that at the time of scoring that goal, Jamal Musiala, they were at the fans at the back of their goal post was the opposition fans, and you rile them outside or within the team, stoking the embers. You just want them focus on the match and being able to close out games and get you clean sheets as well.
Now, do you think Germany has what it takes to win this tournament?
I've been saying it before the tournament started that you guys are going to see the German machine.
If you look at the past two tournaments, they are not really played well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That is the driving force now. That is how do you turn a game around? How do you turn it? How do you turn a game around, or you turn a trend around? Is by using that as fuel to push you forward, and that's what they've done. They've had a poor track record, but I think they've acquitted themselves, and they keep on proving to us every game they play that they are a cut above the rest, and they need to, continue doing so until they are champions, and then we can now stop referring their past.
Hungary, they are out.
They might not be. It depends on the last game, because Scotland rescued a point yesterday. So with that point from Scotland, they might not be out totally, because if they could go on to hurt, because you saw the way they played against Germany, if they could go on to hurt Scotland, then fine. They might be entering the groups or the knockout stages as the best third.
Yeah, the best third. Okay, Musiala. Let's talk about this young player, because for me, he is proving to be the player of the tournament so far. If you ask me, because he scored a goal again, and it's not only that he scores goals, the way he plays, the way he creates chances. But do you think he has what it takes now to become a world-class player?
It's about performance, and he's
consistent. Even if
he's performed for the past 2 years.
Yes,
I think
he's been consistent for the past 2 years.
You put him in that conversation, but world class. You put him in the conversation, but world class is far from him yet. It's still far from him, because
that's where I disagree. Okay, because every player.
It's not world class.
That's why you said he's not a world class, but I feel he is world class.
I think he's a world class player.
He's a world class player. And
if you consider Xhaka as a world class player, you should consider him as a world class player.
Consider who?
but let's not
there are players you put in that conversation.
Let's not take this personal now.
I'm not taking it personal. I'm just saying.
Just calm down. Hear me out. At least let me have my say now. Jamal Musiala has laid the foundations and done things right to be considered a world-class player. Look at his contribution at the Bayern Munich side. Look at his contribution also in this competition. He has the ability to come into any game for his club or country and change the game for them. And he has consistently, over countless seasons now, progressed. He's progressing. Now, this is what you look at a Messi at 19 or 18 and you say,
I'm not saying. I said he is destined. He's destined, okay. Not yet. He's not in that conversation yet. You should understand. There's a difference.
So take him out of the team and let's see what Germany.
Don't go there. Don't go there. There's a Leroy Sané.
Let's look at no.
I'll go with the list.
This is where we disagree now. You are talking about names now. You're not talking about performances. You're not talking about stats. You're not talking about data on the score sheet now.
Wait, I'm giving you data on the score sheet.
What have they performed? What have they produced in this tournament? That's what we're looking at. If you take away his 2 goals, you definitely take away something from the German side and their performance too. Let's not also talk about metrics that do not even come up on the data sheet as well.
Musiala is a nice player, but going to award the man of the match in that game.
No doubt.
Because of these 2 games, the German has announced that Nagelsmann will stay till the next World Cup, to the next tournament. They probably extended his contract to play in the next World Cup. Do you think he's the man to? Because I don't know if they get knocked out probably in the quarterfinal, will this contract still stand or will they sack him? But they just confirmed that he will stay to the World Cup 2026.
Yeah, he should be staying, because this is a coach.
He's a young coach.
He's a coach that was given club contracts. Immediately took left Bayern Munich. They called him in, and this is the same Bayern Munich that kicked him off. They called him in, and he said, "No, I have a job already. I have to take. This is a job I have to deliver on." So with that mindset, he needs to deliver on the German job. In this,
let's not forget putting things into perspective that this was the same manager, and of course you wouldn't expect him to walk back into the Bayern Munich job after being shamefully exited from the side. It's like he won trophies with them. He was on the trajectory to win the Champions League
after leaving,
and then from nowhere they exit him, put him on gardening leave for a couple of months now,
Yeah.
earning salaries, and then he moved on to the German national side. And just because Thomas Tuchel decides to move on, or they decide they don't need Tuchel again, they are calling him back, and you expect him to just leave everything he's been building up with the national team and slide back.
That, it was. I think
It doesn't make
I think
sense if
before
you
Hansi
ask
Flick
me.
was called for the backup job, he was actually called for the backup job, and he literally called off every job. He literally turned down every job offer he had. So this is to tell you the determination he has for the German side, and he wants to win trophy. So why not give him a contract in maybe 2030?
It's not just about the German side now, okay? It's about taking himself off the market, off any controversy right now around clubs, and then doing a good job in this, and delivering on the job he has right now, and put himself in the trajectory to be able to get a better offer sometime in the future. Okay, and Bayern Munich now have to now go hand in cap looking for Vincent Kompany, and they've done that. So they now have to now make it work with Vincent Kompany, or hope that by 2026 this man is out of his contract, they can bring him in with a bumper pay rise.
Okay, the other results in that group, Scotland and Switzerland 1-1. They still have a fighting chance. They have now 1 point, but they need other people from other groups to do them a favor, or probably Switzerland to lose their last game, which I don't think is possible. Do you think Scotland can qualify for the knockout stage?
For me, Scotland should be looking to qualify as best third.
That's what we're saying. They are in the condition for best third. If they don't keep their heads down against the Hungarian side, then they will be off that chart. Because this is what we're looking at now. The Scotland side yesterday put up a fight.
Now, that's what we are talking about.
This is the fight that you see players play in the right position. Yesterday we saw a lack of, everybody was sitting back. Robertson was playing in his left back position. And you saw them. Che Adams was putting pressure on the attacking player, and there was a player that started this last game that didn't start the other game, McGregor. Now this is a midfielder that has always been for the books. I don't know why he was played from the bench last time. He has been fantastic for the Scottish side. He's been fantastic for Celtic so far. He creates chances. He gets attempts on goal. But for the first game, he was just on the bench, and you're experimenting with tactics. You don't experiment with tactics against the German side.
I keep saying this. When the team set up to defend, I don't understand that.
Even the game yesterday, they were set up to defend.
Yes, but they are taking more risk. That's the thing I'm talking about. Take more risk. Even if you are defending, take more risk. If you take more, you have a chance to score goals. But if you just sit back to just defend, it doesn't make sense. Do you understand? It doesn't make sense.
Let's not forget that one of the key things that happens when you are sitting back defending deep, it also exposes your defensive weaknesses, because players are not taking initiative. They are just looking to clear the ball. They are just looking to get the ball away from the defense. But if you saw that match yesterday, there was a total shift in the sense that they had to, of course, sometimes they say that when you take a punch on the cheek, you change to games and to how you show yourselves in this competition. Definitely, they say that everybody has a plan until you take a punch in the cheek.
Then you turn the next cheek, according to people who said it.
Okay, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can join the conversation there. Drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments, and we're also on Facebook at Vote 1043 FM. Okay, let's open the phone lines. You can call in on 0706 048 5853. You can call us to give us contribution about the Euros going on and what is happening. We are still live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. Okay, guys, let's go to today's game. Today's game is the big game. All the big games are the major games are. England is
the firecracker.
England is our sister brother. I don't know how to explain our relationship with England. But let's talk about the 2 o'clock game, Slovenia and Serbia. Briefly, what do you think about that game, John?
I don't know what to say now, because this is a side that has always learned to put up the fight. The Slovenian side has always learned to put up a fight. John Oblak will be on goal, and we've seen your favorite man, Sesko, will be there. I don't think they will be creating enough chances, because you have a Serbian side who has the best attack in Europe, in all of Europe so far. We have a Serbian side who can create chances, who can score goals. Mitrovic and Vlahovic, they might be starting today together, or perhaps one of them will be starting ahead of the other. And you ask yourself, what is going to be happening in that
Let's
midfield.
not forget Benjamin Sesko. Come on, man.
It
Come
doesn't
on.
mean who is going to be creating the chance for him. I mentioned his name earlier in the Slovenian side,
This
but it's about who creates
Benjamin
who
Sesko.
creates. See, it's not about having a top name striker. You saw the game yesterday. Brie came in and nobody was creating chances for him. Brie Embolo, and this is a player that could score goals even with a blindfold on. Yet he didn't get on the score sheet yesterday against Scotland. Now you talk about Sesko in this Slovenian side. Who is going to create the chances for him?
And
They have talent in the midfield, for crying out loud. They have
say that,
talent.
do
They
you
have
think,
talent
okay, who
in the
wins? Who
midfield.
wins? Let's get your prediction first before we move to the England game. Who wins? No, so who wins?
Me?
Yes.
I'm
Slovenia,
Serbian all the way.
Slovenian, brother.
Okay, let's talk about the big one. 5 p.m. today. Denmark versus England. Aha. Big one. You know, if England wins, they qualify for the knockout stage of this tournament. Everybody they are one of the favorites. We talk about Spain, England, France, and probably Germany. That's the 4 favorites in this tournament. Or maybe we can add Portugal to it. So, John, Denmark versus England. Do you think that England will win comfortably, or will they struggle as they did the last game?
For me, England should be winning. Should be winning.
Should everyone expect them to win?
Obviously, but I'm more interested in who Gareth Southgate is fielding in this match. Is he going to stick with Phil Foden up front? Is he also going to stick with Trent and what's his name now, Declan Rice? Or is he going to make a switch? Because they're at that point now where they need to make a switch and have their starting 11 that they are consistently going to be working with. Okay, Denmark are a dangerous side because when you don't expect them to deliver, they just come in and they knock in one goal, and you know England.
It's over.
I don't
You know,
think
It's over.
That's
One
the
goal
truth.
is over. One goal
Sure.
from Rasmus Hojlund is over.
And they pack the
And
boss. And
come on, look at the defense line. This defense line has been nominated for Premier League best defenders for months.
Okay.
Talking about Verstegen, who for Southampton when he was at Southampton.
Definitely.
He was
Talking
pairing,
about the
he was
height as
pairing-
well. Too.
He was pairing with Van Dijk at some point,
6'5".
Van Dijk left, and he was still keeping some clean sheet for Southampton. Now you talk about Christensen. Come on, this
Obviously.
then Anderson as well. These players have been Premier League defenders for months. Now they moved on to other clubs.
They
moved
have
on
a
to
good
big
squad.
teams.
If you look at
If
their
you look
squad.
at the
In
back
midfield-
line,
in
the
midfield-
back
in
line
midfield,
looks solid.
Humard is the person I'll be looking at for Humard and Huberg
Come on.
for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm
You
not.
have to give it to what's his name now, Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg.
I'm just saying those
very
two players are people because
round
they
midfielder
they,
there.
they know how to hustle for the ball, they know how to defend, they know how to create chances and attack as well. Then in front of them, I don't know how to put it now. Perhaps if I say I sound so a little insultive, but we just have to put in the creativity of Eriksen, but he doesn't need to start. He doesn't have to
He's their
start.
only creative.
He's their only creative
player.
spark,
You
so
See,
they have to.
there's
They
this,
have
there's,
to
there's
play
this
him
guy
there.
that plays for Leipzig. That guy. He can start. Normally, he's not as creative with the. He can defend.
You
and
also
as well.
have the Christiansen too that can slot into that position, but they are
Christensen-
playing him
if
out
Christensen-
on the wing.
If
as a wing
Christensen,
back.
if Christensen plays in the defensive position, it means you have to come in as a defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
He
they
can't-
have
he can't-
Christian Eriksen.
No,
Okay,
no,
guys,
you can't.
this England team, do you think that Southgate should keep the same formation he played last week?
I think
you
Trent,
change- what do you
Trent,
think he
Trent
should change?
shouldn't be starting. If you look at the starting lineup, Trent shouldn't be starting.
Wow,
Yes, he
he's
shouldn't
changing his
be-
mind.
he
I said this
shouldn't be
earlier, and he
starting.
said no.
He shouldn't be starting. I think you need to drop in. Either you drop Bellingham beside him, and then you move Foden to the center and you bring
If you
on.
drop Jude, then you are removing his attacking power from the team.
We have Phil Foden.
What?
Yes,
It will never work.
If you want.
we have
It
Phil
will
Foden.
see this
You bring him
Man
to
City
where
fans.
he plays
This
for
is not
Real,
Man City fans.
where he
It will
plays
never-
for Real Madrid. You
it-
bring him
bro,
back into
bro,
that position.
bro, it
You
will
move Phil
never
Foden
work.
to the center, and then you bring in what's his name now down the left, and you still have a great side. Now he can still be fluid doing his movements, but we have Declan Rice being the holding midfielder in that place. So it's also another way to move around your side if you're looking at playing progressive football. So
You know, Man
that's
City,
my take
Man
on
City
it.
fans and many England fans said Phil Foden is not giving results off the flank. They should bring him into. So if they bring him to the middle, they will have to drop Jude to the bench.
No, you can't.
No, you can't
That,
drop Jude
that
to
is
the bench.
that is see.
But
that
you
is the
can
only-
play Jude
that is
at
the
that
only
position
option. That is the
beside
only
Declan
option.
Rice,
Even at
and
Real
then play
Madrid,
Foden in the center.
I think
even at Real Madrid and at Borussia Dortmund, Jude never played a double pairing defensive midfield.
I think the problem that Southgate is having is Foden is the English player of the year.
Forget
That's
about
just his
titles.
problem.
Forget about
Yes,
titles.
if
Forget
you
about
say
titles.
See,
Look
if
at
he cannot perform
performances.
from the flank,
Look
because
at performances, and then look at.
For Man City fans, he's an all-round player. Calm down, John. He's an all-round player for Man City fans. He's well equipped from the left. He can get you the results. From the right, he can score you goals. Everywhere you play him, he can score. Now they are playing him on the left for England, and he's not getting the accolades. He's not getting the
How much
performance.
service is he getting as well too? You have before you talk about performances, you have to talk about service. You saw that with Kylian Mbappe in that semi-finals. Up front as a center man, no service, no nothing.
He's playing from the flank.
You
He should
now
be-
have
see,
to. You
was
now
Saka
also
not-
have
was
to
Saka
ask.
not also pre- was Saka not
You
also
also
performing?
need to also ask.
Saka was also
what's
performing.
the service he is getting?
Saka was also performing in that same
But
game
I'm
last
telling
game.
you now categorically that Jude should be dropped beside
It will
Declan
not
Rice.
work.
Foden move to the center and someone playing down the flank on the left.
It will not work.
Just
John.
watch out
John,
till
it
you
will
see
not work.
it.
See,
Okay.
if Southgate experiment with these tactics now, I believe he's destined to lose that game.
So do you think that they will win this game, this particular game now?
They win this game. If you're saying drop Trent, fine. Bring in a defensive midfielder that could allow.
So
now
who partners Rice?
this is where I have a problem. I used to advocate for.
This
not
is
playing.
where
Wait,
you are
chill.
biased.
See, I'm not biased. I'm not biased.
This is where
I'm
you're
not. I am
biased
not.
right
See,
now.
I'm going to say something now, but it's not being biased. You know, all of us used to call out a certain player who played for Liverpool, played in that defensive midfield formation, in that position, and we always criticize him. Now, I think this is where we need him now. I'm saying we like I'm part of the English team.
I want to ask you again.
Now,
This is your week.
This is
You
where
always
they,
say we.
this is where they need him now. I'm
But
talking
his
about,
grandfather is from
you
England.
know,
I don't know.
we're mixed tribes, so I think this is where they need Henderson in that game. He gives.
It wasn't called for national
That's
team.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you had an Anderson in the national team, you give Rice the freedom to move ahead, create more
Boy, he's
chances.
not in
Now,
the
since
side
he's not
now.
in the side,
Let's
since
see-
he's not
let's
in the
see
side,
Some people that are not here. Let's talk about people that are here.
since he's not in the side, if I say Kobe Meno, he will attack me. But I don't think he's going to be a fantastic player for that pairing. But you put in a Gallagher,
Now you
workhorse.
come. Thank
you
you.
put in a workhorse. Kobe is good. I know he's good on
So,
the ball. He's better than
what you are
Gallagher on the
saying
ball.
that
But
you-
you put in a workhorse in case of there's a mishap in
What you are
midfield.
saying, people want Rice to move forward. I think,
See,
you know,
let him play to his strengths. Rice is the player that can come in, get you that tackle, and move the ball forward.
okay.
And last game, he wasn't doing that. You saw
He
him
has to
was,
sit back.
he had
Yeah,
to sit back because
yeah.
he didn't trust Trent to get the job done. So he was not really performing well. Now, in this game, looking forward, you need to put him in that position
And-
as
and
well.
second-
where you have
secondly-
someone who is hustling
secondly-
behind him and he has that freedom to go forward.
Sorry to cut you short now. Secondly, playing Trent in that position, right? I still think it's an experiment because all that is going to take for that to change is for Trent to do one cup up in that midfield, and
I know
he's
he
back
he's
in the
he
full
played
back
with
position.
England just once in a friendly game. When he gave Xhaka that pass that he used to score. After that, probably Southgate said, let's consider.
I'm just saying that he's playing in that midfield now. Is an experiment. He's just one error away from being moved back to his native position.
And
So
Walker
obviously,
plays.
Walker will still play, maybe down the left or wherever, but
you
it
see,
is what it is.
Walker, that right wing,
And
back,
secondly, let's
Walker.
not forget this thing. Now, it's good to have personalities, strong personalities within the side. It's good to have big names also because of what they provide.
Walker plays.
But nobody is beyond the bench.
Yeah, Walker plays. Okay, guys, you know you can join the conversation here with us in the studio. Numbers to call is 0706 048 5853. Now, okay, fine. What's your prediction for that game?
England win.
England, what score? Give us your score. You know,
2-1.
your prediction has been working small this
You know.
tournament. So 2-1 for England. No, so
Me, see.
Just give us the prediction.
Calm
without
down,
the
I
extra
didn't
force.
think. Calm
Come
down.
on.
I didn't think.
what are you thinking?
England
What
wins.
thing they think?
England wins.
Oh, both of you are agreeing
Is this-
today.
is this
Something will
what
give
the
today.
thinking
Two of you
was
are
for?
No, see,
Come on.
but the scoreline is going to surprise you.
okay. What?
Just one goal.
Just one goal for
Just
England.
one goal again.
Okay, fine. Do you think England has what it takes to bring this cup home?
Don't see.
I know that if they win this, they qualify. I shouldn't be asking this question, but
Let's not jinx it, okay?
okay. Let's
not
leave
jinx
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay, we have a call, so let's. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is Marvelous. I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay, marvelous. What's your contribution?
My contribution there is just that front line. I just want to give you people, three people that can play the front line very well.
Okay.
You can play Gordon in the left wing,
Gordon.
and play Harrison in the front, and
Okay.
play Saka in the left place. Then
Okay.
the midfield you can play Rice, Foden, and Bellingham.
Rice,
Understand?
Foden, and Bellingham.
Yeah, that's the complete midfielders.
Okay.
Rice, Foden, and Bellingham. Then
Okay.
the front, Hurricane, Gordon, and Saka, the other side.
Oh.
Then if you want to do changing and second half, you can put Palmer and Mino at once, or Gallagher and
Okay.
Palmer at once.
You are a Chelsea fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I love playing. I love watching good games.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
He wants to see Palmer's
You
goal
want to see,
celebration.
yes. So okay,
that
look
works
at
as well.
yes, look
Yeah,
at
but
that.
it works though.
He's saying that put Jude. Sometimes it depends on the formation. You don't need to partner Rice anyway. You can play Rice. You can play one defensive midfielder and two CMs. It's possible.
Sure.
Or one defensive midfielder and two attacking. It might open up for you people to be attacked, but it gives you more option going forward.
Again, waiting. My guy they talk. He say we defender they like pursue ball go front, go they shake, impose go they shake every time. Now you allow Rice that freedom, or you play Rice and Bellingham in midfield with Foden
yes.
in midfield. The three of them will be going forward.
Yeah.
Now
One person has to sit.
One person has to sit, and Rice is not the person to sit.
Rice
You know
has
that.
to sit.
Now you know that he would ball go carry and go front, and all triple ball. If he pursue ball go front, go front. Eriksen see one pass send.
And that's it.
He don't
More than
finish.
she wrote.
That 1-0. That 1-0. Anybody win, don't go. So Rashford, he is not that kind of person to depend on somebody to give him a pass for him to score. He knows where to position himself to get the goal for himself. You saw it with Man United. He didn't get any much assists from the team, but he's always scoring goals. And this is the player you would always be scared of.
He's saying that Gordon should start. John, what do you make of that? Do you think Gordon has earned the right to start for England in a major tournament?
He hasn't earned
He
that right,
starts putting goals
but
to the
he can
bench.
come in.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody has to go to the bench. All of them can play together.
For Gordon to
Foden
start,
bench.
Trent needs to be on the bench, basically.
Okay, so he's coming home or he's not coming home?
Don't jinx it.
No,
That's
he
what
don't
I'm
jinx
saying.
it. Just say, okay, guys. Number to call is 0706 048 5853, and we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We're going to go on a quick break, short one. When we come back, we'll talk about the next big game. It's 8 p.m. game, Spain versus Italy. We are going to be back shortly.
On Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 FM.
Okay, now the next game in that group is Spain versus Italy. That's a very huge game. Spain has all the 3 points. He wins this particular one. Moves to, I don't think they have actually played well. They are the defending champion, but they didn't qualify for the World Cup. Somehow, I don't understand the European champions not qualifying for the World Cup, but it happened with Italy.
Yeah.
So what do you think will happen in this game? Do you think that Italy has what it takes to match this Spain side, John?
I don't think they do. Just being frank here. I think it's going to be more of a Spain win, and I'm backing Spain for the win.
Okay, now backing Spain for the win, you see an Italian side who knows how to defend, who knows how to create chances, who knows how to attack. You understand? The Spanish side knows how
The
to hold on to
question
the
is
ball.
who is going to bury the ball in the back of the net.
The Spanish side knows how to hold on to the ball, knows how to create chances. But defensively, I'm not trusting their defense that good. But for the Italian side, there's a De Rossi, there's a Pellegrini, and there's a Scamacca. For me, I always criticize the guy.
The same Scamacca.
Calm down. I always criticize
for
the
a
guy.
couple of months now.
He came to West Ham and he was, I will not say faking injury. He couldn't play.
I had to talk about De Rossi.
His son.
Okay,
There's
so
somebody-
okay. So I wanted to clear that because De
No,
Rossi-
not De Rossi, the
Okay.
legend. There's a player called De Rossi on the team. He plays from the bench now. So I think Lucas Kamaka came to Premier League, didn't perform well, didn't do well, always going on injuries or past. I don't know if he's faking it, but always going on injuries. And now he went back to Atlanta and he's been giving performance. He's been playing well, performing for the Italian side, Atlantan side. Now for the Italian side, I don't see him as that goal threat as well. But he likes to open. There's this thing Harry Kane does: run to create openings for the next player, and I think that's what Lucas Kamaka does well. But in this game, it's going to be up to the midfielders to create that chances for him to put it very.
I think that Spain has 3 points, Italy has 3 points. I think a draw will be fair for 4 points, because if you look at the other
but
other teams in this
a
group,
draw
it's
also
Croatia
opens up the possibility for
Albania.
another team to.
See, Albania is 1 point, Croatia is 1 point. Now we know the next game for Spain is perhaps Albania. And so Spain will run away with it. But if they play a draw tonight, it opens up a big gap in the group for Croatia to maybe get a fighting chance.
Yeah, 4 points. They have to now win comfortably.
Now they have to win. Now Croatia has to win against Italy in the last game to get into that. If they play a draw now, which means it will be a fight to the death in the next game. But I'm not looking out for a fight to the death in this group stage yet. I'm looking for a fight to the death in the round of 16, when you know other teams that perform are now there. You know that these are the top teams that qualify for the group, not anyhow group stage that you're supposed to win freely and you're playing a draw. So for me, this game is going to be held until the 90th minute. We know the Spanish side can attack, but this defense is not what I trust.
So what's your prediction for that game?
I'm predicting a win for Spain.
So Spain wins, they qualify. So
Sure.
What's the score?
Okay. Let's
We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, I'm Frank Obichubu calling from MNS.
Frank, what's your contribution, please?
I want to ask a question first.
Okay.
What is the Germany? What they play yesterday?
They won 2-0.
Eh?
They won 2-0. They won their game yesterday 2-0.
Okay. My contribution is that Spain to play Italy. It's not an easy game.
Okay.
It's not an easy game. Just that game will end draw.
Will end well?
A tough game.
Okay.
The game will end draw.
Okay, a draw game. Okay.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. Frank is predicting a draw. For me, draw is a fair result for both teams. So draw. So what's your prediction for that game?
I think I have to keep my cards till the 90th minute, but Italy should get up with something.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sorry, what's your name and location, please?
My name is Raphael. I'm calling from Atlanta.
Okay, Raphael, what's your contribution? Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll talk about this person, Mo Salah.
Okay.
That guy is world class player. That guy is far better than Gisela, I swear to God. I'm not a fan, but that guy is far better than Gisela, I swear.
Oh, really?
I swear. Truly, I'm not a fan, but the guy is far better than Gisela.
Okay. So what's your prediction for this England game, England versus Denmark? What's your prediction?
2-1 England.
2-1. Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah?
Spain and Italy. That was 2-1 against.
Oh, Spain and Italy 2-1. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. He's saying Spain to win 2-1 and Italy
England to win 2-1 as well.
2-1, yes. So
like I said, in this Euro 2024, it's going to be tough calling results and calling a prediction, because you know these people have the ability to fight. You know, these players, this team has the ability to fight for their sport. It's going to be tough calling out a result. But for me, I feel like we need to give credit to where credit is due. The Spanish midfield, the mixture of Rodri, Pedri, and Ruiz is fantastic. Now, with the Italian side, Jorginho, Barella, we saw Barella in Inter Milan. We saw what he can do. We know how intelligent this guy is. Federico Chiesa is third generation. His grandfather played for Italy. His father played for Italy. And these generations won World Cups in one time or the other. So he's looking to break that jinx as well. You know, then you look up and you say, my father won it, my grandfather won it. I need to be winning it as well. So he won the last edition of the Euro 2020 was it 2020? Now he's looking to win this one as well. You say this is a player to look out for. We will not call him a threat. See, defense plenty. Defense
Yeah,
plenty
but defense does not win you championships.
For the midfield,
actually.
maybe I'm not talking about the defense for the defense line. I'm talking about in the midfield. There are players who are conscious of their defensive line and they are also conscious of creating chances.
But where is the creative spark coming from? Where is the creative spark coming from?
Barella, Pellegrini, and Chiesa are creative as there's a Dimarco as well in that game. Understand? There's a Dimarco as well in that game who you know can create chances as well and can also
These
defend.
are just big part players in clubs in Europe, maybe in Serie A. They don't have the capacity to.
Inter Milan.
They do not have the capacity to withstand the Spanish might. That's what I'm talking about. If you told me Italy was coming into this game to sit deep and break, I would understand. But then you can't sit deep and break on the Spanish side that have the potential to hold the ball, squeeze you in and get chances. So that's why I'm just saying they have a fine defense, fine and good though, but defense at the end of the day doesn't win you the trophy. You have to get points and goals on the board. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, guys, the numbers to still call to join us in this conversation in the studio is 0706 048 58553. Let's move a bit away from Euros. Euros has been going on and on. We have been seeing a lovely tournament throughout this competition. Let's talk about transfer a little bit. Aston Villa has agreed terms with Martin from Chelsea. Do you think it's a good move for him to go to Aston Villa, or do you think he should go back to Chelsea and fight for his spot, John?
For me, it depends on the dynamics at Chelsea right now. Ian Martin actually had to leave that setup to go get playing time.
And he played the
Champions League final. He's had a fantastic season with Borussia Dortmund. Yeah. And he's looking at it now. Maybe Borussia Dortmund aren't looking to keep him, and then coming back to Chelsea. If a call from Enzo Maresca was put across that,
who is Enzo Maresca?
Look, you're in my plan. I need you. You're vital to this team. And you are going to be getting that starting minutes at Chelsea. I think he would have stayed.
The issue here is that they have 3 left backs now.
3 left backs that you need to get 2 off the team. Let's stop mixing words when we talk about 3 left backs. You need to get these guys off the team and bring in young blood. For example, you want to count a certain Chilwell now in the left back, not so.
Mm-hmm.
You also want to count a Marco Correa in that left back who you tried offloading and it didn't work out. Who's the third person you want to count in that level? For me, I think 2 of those 3 need to be sent out, and then Ian Martin brought back into the side.
You don't see the Spanish side play. You want to let out Cucurella, who you see is one of the big players, as in, will I say big or one of the bigger players in the Spanish side? Why have Chelsea? No.
Why have Chelsea been trying to sell that guy for the past 2 seasons?
Because the coach
why have they been sending him out on loan? And this is the same. This is the same player. Now you know that he's a star player. Now you know that he's a big player that can stay in the side and deliver something for the side. Where was this conversation a couple of seasons ago when they signed him?
Who brought him into Chelsea fold?
Is he a star player or not? Irrespective of who brought him in.
He was brought in by Graham Potter.
Okay.
Who brought him in from Real Sociedad, or perhaps was it Real Sociedad or yes, Real Sociedad.
Who brought him into Brighton in the first place?
It's the same person.
And then moved him to Chelsea.
Now, these are coaches that like to work with their. It's called moving with my project. There's no way Mourinho will move from Chelsea to Man United without going on with Matic. Now he moved he moved on to Roma with who again? With the same Matic. Now he's going to, where is it called? Turkey, Fenerbahce, perhaps. He will still be going there with maybe at some point he'll have to call Matic on the phone. Please, I need you here. That's the coaches. They have their project. And he came to Chelsea. It worked well until they had to let him go and bring in a Thomas Tuchel.
Okay, he has 3 options. Either he stays with Borussia Dortmund,
which you know they won't pay the price tag on him.
Obviously.
So if you are this player, who will you choose? What club will you choose to play with?
For me, like, if I take myself out of this conversation now, and let's say Citribus Paribus at Chelsea, they have somebody who has a square head on his shoulder and he knows what to do, I'll bring him back to start in the Chelsea side. But if that's not happening, then he should go to Aston Villa.
So, okay, let's talk about Olise, our Nigerian foundation.
On France under 21
No,
player.
it's still like Nigeria. It has the Nigerian
France-
heritage, please.
He's not agreed to be a Nigerian yet.
No, but he's a Nigerian.
He go shock him. Dele Alli is still telling the story till tomorrow.
Leave that one. Leave that one. You don't about Bele. Okay.
No.
Crystal Palace is
No,
offering
that's,
him a new.
he may not find a starting slot in the
He
France
might.
national
Yes,
side.
he might.
may not.
Okay, he might not. Okay. Crystal Palace offered him a new contract. They want to make him one of the highest paid player in the team because he has a lot of requests. Do you think he should stay or probably go to Chelsea because Chelsea is trying to get him on a permanent deal? So, do you think he should stay or should he move?
He go hard though.
For me, I don't think he should be moving. At
You know,
least
what
not to
Crystal Palace,
Chelsea.
they can't sell Olise and Eze on same transfer window. So one have to
They're
stay.
looking at the age difference between both of them to know who they can ship out first.
I think probably they're looking at the money.
It's not the money. See, it's
If
not
it
less
were the
about
money, they would be willing to sell both, but they are looking to just sell one and keep one back at the side.
See, clubs like this, they know how to build for the future. You see a Southampton side who had the highest number of sales, and Ajax side who exports
Van
more
Dijk,
player.
a couple of other players,
see,
James Woodward-Prowse.
if you know
list
the
is
project, if you know the project is not bringing forth someone better. When they let Saka go, they said a certain Mitchell is going to take his place. What is Mitchell doing now?
Okay.
He's not living up to the standard of Saka, and now Saka is exploring fantastic time at Man United. If you know the player in the academy setup is not built to replace this player, not let him go yet. It's the same thing that happened. See, let's forget that Man City likes to spend big. The same thing happened in Man City. There was a few Foden and some other players and Cole Palmer, but they had to understudy some top players first. The likes of David Silva and just I have to make case around to that. At Man United, it was the same thing. The academy class of 92, or perhaps how they call them, the Ryan Giggs, schools, they had to understudy the Roy Keanes and the Eric Cantonas and all of that, and the Sebastian Veron. So these are players you bring in to understudy great players, then you can ship out those great players and play with these players to make money. But I don't think there's anybody on the academy setup or on the bench right now to take that position. That's why they have to just keep. And Chelsea, for me, Chelsea
Yeah, he
will
has
not
three
be-
options.
Chelsea will not be the right side to move
He
on.
has
to.
Chelsea, he has Bayern Munich, and he has Newcastle. He has three options if he wants to move. But I think he should move to Bayern Munich. Yeah, I think he has a better chance to play for Bayern Munich other than the other two clubs.
I'll tell you a
No,
story
but-
about a
but
player
it-
that went on from being an academy player to being a star player somewhere else. He came back to the club where he was an academy graduate and wasn't welcomed, and yet he flopped. Till today, his record stands as the king of Palace and the flop of Manchester. That's his star. When you call his name, you put it like this: the star player or the king of Palace and the flop of Manchester. That is Wilfred Zaha. Now, where is he? He's in Turkey enjoying big money. So some players are not just destined for big clubs, and I think Olise should take his time.
Zaha didn't move to a big club. He moved from Manchester United.
He came back.
He moved from
To Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace to Manchester United. That was a big money move for how many millions? And then it didn't work out, obviously,
They
because
had to ship him back.
let's not get into Manchester United story right now. So I think,
You have to talk about Manchester. I can't talk. You must talk about Manchester. Manchester United now. They have cooled they are looking
Interest,
for
yeah.
their interest for Todibo. Now, okay, let's take this call first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What is your name and location?
It's also I'm calling back.
Okay, all right. What's your contribution again?
I'm talking about this person, sir. Then I moved from Man U to Crystal Palace, from Crystal Palace back to Man U, from Man U get back to Crystal Palace.
Okay.
That is a Man U academy player now. It's from Man U to Crystal Palace, not Crystal Palace to Man U. From Man U first
From
to
Man U to
Crystal
Crystal
Palace, from
Palace,
Crystal Palace
then from
back to Man
Crystal Palace
U.
back to Man U.
Yes,
Then
that's
from there
right.
he went off.
It's from Man U to Crystal Palace, from Crystal Palace
Yes,
to Man
that's
U.
what
Man
we
U
said.
back to Crystal Palace again.
I know. Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So he was an academy player for Manchester United before
He moved to Crystal Palace and came back to Man United and was a flop, a proper flop. Then after that, he was now worshipped at Palace when Palace came for him and took him on permanent.
Permanent. Okay, let's talk about Manchester United. Their interest at Todibo has reduced because of I don't know reason, because of fee, the money there. Nice is not willing to negotiate for now because Todibo is a big defender for them. So they are holding on to the defender. You know, this is not about Manchester United because everybody have seen they can pay big money. So everybody is now playing their cards well. So if you are interested in one player, they hold on to that player, trying to squeeze out all the money they could.
That's the same case with what's it called? Because of the transfer bid or the bidding war.
For Anthony.
See, it happened last season with Anthony. The bidding war with Olisena is making Crystal Palace give him a contract, and they know that if this bidding war continues, they'll get him for maybe 150 because this is a player that you would say is in the category of Declan Rice. He can create chances, he can defend, he can control the game. So you put him in that 150 million price tag, and people will be begging you, okay, fine, let's just take him for 90. We all know he's not worth 70, but because of the bidding war, it's bidding wars that keep and media presence in the platform that increases the prices of players. And this bidding war now, we heard news of Man United being interested in him. Now Chelsea are interested. At some point, Liverpool were interested.
Yes,
Bayern Munich are interested. Now this is a bidding war. The player because I'm bidding 60 million, another person is bidding 50 million, somebody else is bidding 90 million. So for next season, you want to sell him for 100, and that's why they want to give him a new contract, thinking there will still be a bidding war next year to improve the stakes.
But also, I feel like if you're going to give this guy, you reward this guy with a contract, it should have been sorted out before the end of the season.
His contract still lasts till 2026.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying now. He has a couple of years left, and if he stays this season, by next season, they are going to be in a weaker spot negotiating wise because he just has 1 year.
Yes,
so if he
Manchester
plays
United
this season
is still
now,
looking for defenders, so they have to pay big for a defender. They don't even have a choice. Because they let go of Varane. They have Martinez, who is injury prone, so they have to still buy maybe 2 or 3 defenders, whether they like it or not. Okay, guys, thank you for all your contribution. Thank you for our callers for calling in, and those that join us on YouTube, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. Thank you for joining us today. And today's game in the Euro, England, Spain. I hope we'll get a lovely and a beautiful game today. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. My name is Godwin, signing out.
Welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports. Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sent us the electricity bill.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion.
The kingdom of God is within people.
Odenibo.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Volt 104.3 FM.